Hello, my awesome sis, and welcome back to another random Pokemon video. Today I'm hoping to start a new series, my little Battle Spot series, where I just go up and fight a few trainers, record them to my VS recorder, and then just do a bit of commentary over the recorded battles. Sometimes I might do live battles if you want that, but if you do, just let me know down in the comments below. Today's question of the day. How about, since water is my favorite type, what's your favorite water type Pokemon? Mine is, of course, Lapras. The only thing that could make it better is a baby form, but of course, that's with it being my favorite. But anyways, let's get right onto it. So, this is my new Battle Spot series where I just go up against random people on Battle Spot and just fight them, see how I do, and then just upload what I've recorded onto YouTube. So, I guess, here goes the first battle. This is, of course, a single battle, but the rest of the ones that I have here are triple battles, so they might be a little bit longer. So here we go. He sends out a Greninja first, and of course, I first send out Flygon. So, I go for the Earthquake, hoping to take him out. It does about... Oh man, I'm gonna say about 9/10. But the Greninja goes for the Ice Beam, and of course, will knock out the Flygon. The Flygon goes down, and it is now 3-2 for whoever that is. I think that's Japanese writing, since there's no Chinese in this, or Chinese version of the game. I go into Medicham. He goes for the Dark Pulse, hoping to take me down with that, try and get some neutral effectiveness. That does just over half. I go for the Drain Punch, take out the Greninja, gain back a little bit of HP plus that HP from the Shell Bell. However, there is a Rocky Helmet there as well to hurt me a little bit. Of course, now I am back up to 39 HP, thanks to the Heal Bell. Not much HP, but it's a little bit. Then the Kangaskhan comes out, goes for the Mega Evolution. Very strong in this game. It got nerfed in the next game, so Kangaskhan isn't going to be as effective. I go for the Train Punch. That does about 3/4 of his health. I go almost all the way up to full. I think I get up to like 126, or no, I go all the way up to full. The Kangaskhan goes for the Power Up Punch, hoping to power up quite a bit, but it barely does anything. Of course, it is now +2 because of the parental bond ability. I go for the Drain Punch again, and I do take it out, and I don't think I get quite up to full. I might though. And the Kangaskhan goes down. I go back up to full using my Shell Bell, and now here comes out the Groudon, which does revert to its primal form, I believe. Yes, it does. So of course the Desolate Land ability will come into play, and Fire type moves will be boosted, plus a weakened amount of, water moves will have 0 effect. So of course he goes for the Earthquake, and I believe that does take out the Medicham straight up. Yes, it does, because of a critical hit. Next, my final Pokemon is Blissey, so I send that out. Not much I can do to it. It goes for the Focus Blast. It does hit. It does not get Focus Miss Syndrome today, but it barely does anything, even with a strongest special type fighting type move. I go for the Ice Beam. That barely does anything. It goes for the Eruption, hoping to do quite a bit, and it does a fair amount. It gets me down just below half. I go for the Toxic and do badly poison him, hoping to set this thing on a timer. So now that thing is poisoned. It goes for the Eruption again, hoping to take me out, but since it's quite a bit weakened, it doesn't. I go for the Soft Boiled, and I go back up past half. This is the longest part of the battle. It again falls to poison damage a little bit. Next, it goes for the Thunder. It does miss, especially since it's only 50% accurate in the sun. I go for the Ice Beam, hoping to weaken it just a little bit more, and I do, just a little bit though. But now the poison is really starting to rack up. It goes for the Focus Blast. It does hit again, but I believe I go for the Soft Boiled. Yes, I do. I go for the Soft Boiled. That brings me up quite a bit. almost to full. I have about a quarter health before I'm full, and that thing is almost going to go down to poison. Of course, it goes for the eruption. I don't know what its thought was, or the opposing Pokemon's thought was, but I go for the ice beam, and that will be GG to Japanese dude. So, dude, I doubt you're watching this, but if you are, good game. And yeah, that's all I have to say. It was a good battle. Not a fan of the Primal Groudon, but of course these things happen. Next I'm going up against Emma. Now, as I said, the rest of these are triple battles, so I'm going up against Emma, and that team, this is why I never played Battle Spot before, because I was afraid of legendary teams. But it doesn't matter, so I go in. Flygon, Blissey, and Absol come out, and then she sends in the Virizion, Giratina, and the Kyurem. So a bunch of abilities come into play, but now, of course, I Mega Evolve my Absol and hopefully put some work in with this thing. Flygon goes for the Outrage, and it does hit the Giratina, bringing it down just past half. Virizion goes for the Sacred Sword, hoping to take out the Absol, and I believe it does. Yes, it does take out my Absol. So Absol goes down, and now I am down 5-6. Giratina goes for the Aura Sphere on the Blissey, and that does, like, barely anything. My red card activates, and the Giratina gets swapped out. Next comes the Rayquaza, and its Airlock activates. Kyurem goes for the Dragon Pulse on the Flygon, and I believe it does knock it out. So now I am down 4-6, and things are not looking good for me. And I go for the Substitute. Next, I send out Typhlosion to take care of the Virizion, and Medicham to take care of the Kyurem. I must switch as the Rayquaza to go back into Giratina, I believe. Yes, Giratina comes back out. And let's see what happens next. I don't remember. And Pressure activates again. Typhlosion goes for the Flamethrower, and I believe it does knock out the Virizion. Yes, it does. So now it is 5-4, and things are looking a little bit better. I go for the Drain Punch on the Kyurem, but it's not going to quite knock it out. It does about 2/3. Kyurem goes for the Icy Wind, hoping to do quite a bit, and it barely does anything, and it does not even fade the Substitute. But Medicham's speed falls, and that is going to hurt me quite a bit. I go for the Ice Beam on the Giratina and get it down into red. Next, the Deoxys comes out, and I believe this is the speed form, so it's fairly decent stats, but its speed is just ridiculous. It's probably the fastest thing on this field. It goes for the Psycho Boost, and tries to take off the Typhlosion. It doesn't quite, and it loses its special attack harshly. I go for the Flamethrower on the Deoxys, I believe, and I believe that just knocks him out. So now Typhlosion has 2 kills, and it is 4-4 again, so my team of just regular Pokemon is doing alright. The Shadow Claw comes out, and that does knock out the Medicham. So Medicham goes down, and I believe I just go for another Ice Beam on the Giratina before the Fusion Bolt. However, that does take care of my Substitute. And I believe I do go for the Ice Beam on the Giratina. No, I go for the Toxic on the Giratina. Sorry, my mistake. I'm remembering wrong. So, the Toxic is almost going to knock it out, but not quite. Next, Arceus comes out, and I believe this is just normal Arceus. And my Zebstrika comes out. My Zebstrika goes for the Protect, hoping to survive another turn while I try and take care of the Giratina. And Typhlosion goes for the Flamethrower on the Arceus, I believe. It does not quite knock it out, but it gets pretty close. Arceus goes for the Dive, and I'm pretty sure that it's going for the Typhlosion. But Giratina uses Aura Sphere and knocks out the Typhlosion. Oh, sorry, I was wrong. It brings it down to 5, but the Dragon Pulse from the Kyurem knocks it out. Next I go for another substitute, and I believe next turn I go for a soft boiled for Blissey. I don't remember, does the poison take it out? Yes, the poison does take out the Giratina though. So now I believe it is 3-3, I might be wrong. I don't remember. But the Rayquaza of course Mega evolves because people like to be OP. I'm gonna be really honest. I do not like people using legendaries like this. I do go for the me first on the Kyurem, and I believe I start using Freeze Shock. Yeah. So now I'm charging that, and Arceus' dive activates, and it doesn't quite, or yes, it does. No, sorry, it doesn't knock out the substitute, but why can't I talk? My Zubstrika survives Dragon Pulse, I believe it was, from the Mega Rayquaza somehow, and I go for the Ice Beam on the Rayquaza because it is 4 times effective. However, Delta Stream makes it do very little. My Freeze Shock activates, and it does hit the Kyurem, but it doesn't quite knock it out. It's very close though. It is paralyzed though, so that's gonna hurt it. Rayquaza does get the Surf off, so Kyurem can't do much anymore, and it does knock out the Kyurem. So now I believe it is 2-1, maybe 2-1 or 2-2, and my substitute does fade on the Blissey. Arceus goes for the Poison Jab and does quite a bit to me. I go for the Toxic on the Rayquaza, but in hindsight, I feel like I should have gone for the Soft Boiled. It does not very much, and next turn, Dragon Ascent does indeed kill Blissey. Excuse me, sorry. And of course, that'll be GG, so I lose 2-0. But it was a very good game against Emma. Emma, of course, if you're watching Good Game, you might want to reconsider your strategy, because if I were to take out 4 of your Pokemon with this team of mine, you might want to rethink some strategy. But of course, it was a really good game. Next, we have a game against George with a really interesting team. Of course, I'm loving that Lapras in there. I just really enjoy seeing that in there. But of course, it's another pretty good team. So of course, George is issuing a challenge, and he sends out the Crobat, Dragonite, and Vileplume first. I send out the same start, actually, Absol, Flygon, and Blissey. It is a shiny Vileplume, and I feel like it is legit because the other Pokemon are not shiny as well. So, good job, George, if you're watching this, good job on the shiny Vileplume. Flygon goes for the U-turn on the Vileplume because there's not much it can do, and it just gets swapped right back. I believe I send in the Zebstrika, and it just goes right in there. Crobat uses Fly, and the Dragonite also uses Fly, I believe. Yeah. Absol uses Sword Stance to raise its attack stat because it does get a free turn, and this is all still turn 1, and of course Blissey goes for the substitute. Vileplume uses Toxic, but it fails on the Blissey. It is holding Black Sludge, so it will regain HP, however. Zebstrika goes for the me first, and goes for the Fly of itself. Have you ever seen that? A Zebstrika using Fly? The Crobat is going to connect on the Blissey, however, and does it? Yes, the substitute does fade on the Blissey. Absol goes for another Sword Stance to try and just OHKO everything. So now Absol is +4. And Dragonite uses Fly, but Blissey avoids the attack. I go for the Ice Beam on the Dragonite, and that does a fair amount. Vileplume uses Sleep Powder, however Zebstrika avoids the attack. And of course it regains HP thanks to Black Sludge. I use Sucker Punch now on the Crobat, and I believe I do knock it out, because I am +4, and that's just OP on Absol. Zebstrika uses Fly on the Dragonite and knocks it down quite a bit. Dragonite then goes for Dragon Dance and is trying to set up on me. Blissey uses Ice Beam again on the Dragonite, I believe, and gets a critical hit, I think. No, it's not a critical hit, it just straight up bops it. And Vileplume uses Sleep Powder on the Blissey, and does finally connect. However, of course, it's a Battle Spot, so the Sleep Clause is not on. Salamence comes out now, and I have to be prepared to take this thing out. And now, Lapras, Lapras, Lapras. And it's shiny too. Oh my goodness, it's such a beautiful Pokemon! Such a beautiful Pokemon! Now Salamence is going to make it evolve, and if you have read the description for this thing in the Pokemon Sun and Moon Pokedex entries, this thing becomes so much more terrifying. Absol goes for the Sucker Punch on the Salamence. I believe just straight up bops it again, so Salamence isn't a problem anymore. Zebstrika goes for the Volt Switch on the Lapras, and knocks it down almost to half. Lapras, oh, you're a beast. You are such a beast. I wish you had better, a better physical moveset, though. Medicham comes out, and Lapras uses Ice Beam. It goes for the Absol, and knocks it down just past half. Blissey, of course, is still asleep, however. Vileplume uses the Sleep Powder, and connects with the Medicham. And of course, Vileplume gets back up almost to full, using its Black Sludge. Greninja comes out now, and it is another shiny. Greninja uses Ice Beam, and connects with the Absol, and I believe takes it out. No, not quite, sorry. It uses the Slash on the Greninja, and that, I believe, takes it out. Medicham is still asleep, and I believe that's what causes it to faint now. That, or it goes for the Ice Beam on the Absol. Yeah, it goes for the Ice Beam on the Absol, and now I have lost my Mega Pokemon. And of course, Blissey is also fast asleep. Vileplume does use Sludge Bomb though, and connects with the Medicham, almost knocking it out. And now, Vileplume is finally full from the start of the battle. I send Flygon back out, and use Crunch on the Lapras. It doesn't quite knock it out, but it does lower the defense. Medicham is still asleep, however, so there's not much it can do. Lapras goes for the Ice Beam, and knocks out the Flygon. I didn't remember how that went, but yeah, Flygon does straight up faint. Blissey, however, does wake up and goes for the Ice Beam on the Vileplume, and I think I get the Freeze if I remember correctly. No, I don't, sorry. Vileplume goes for the Sludge Bomb and does knock out the Medicham. Next I send in, now I'm down 3 Pokemon, so it's 3-3 I believe. So now I send out Typhlosion and Zebstrika. Zebstrika uses Volt Switch on the Lapras, and I believe takes it out. Oh, poor Lapras. So that thing is knocked out now, and Vileplume, I believe, is the last Pokemon, and Typhlosion uses Flamethrower. So Vileplume, from the start of the battle, makes it to the final round. So GG to George, another really good battler. It was such a pleasure to meet you, and you had such a great team. Gotta watch that ice weakness, though. A little bit obvious. Next we have Jetfire Cop 10 and then Maeve, so 2 more battles. Excuse me, sorry about that. Alright, Jetfire Cop. With one of the most interesting teams I've seen, and I find it's really creative. It was such a pleasure facing this team, but it could have some improvements in my opinion. So I sent out the same 3 again, Blissey, Flygon, and Absol. Excuse me. Absol, of course, Mega evolves, and I don't remember what happens. Absol goes for the Sucker Punch on the Swampert, I believe, and almost knocks it out, brings it down to red, and I go for the U-turn on the Venusaur. I'll bring it down about 1/4 of its health. Typhlosion comes out, and I believe Charizard goes for the Dragon Rage on the Absol, bring it down to 108 health. Venusaur goes for the Razor Leaf and doesn't do very much to either of my Pokemon. However, it was a crit on Blissey. Blissey goes for the red card and switches the Venusaur out. Next comes the Blaziken, and Blissey goes for the Ice Beam on it. I believe this actually freezes the Blaziken. It's not very effective, and yeah, it freezes the Blaziken, so some crazy luck there. And Swampert goes for the Rock Slide, but absolutely avoids the attack. It doesn't do very much on either Pokemon again, but it is super effective on the so I do have to be really careful. I go for the Psycho Cut on the Charizard and bring it down just past half. I go for the Focus Blast, but the Blaziken misses. Blaziken thaws out and goes for the Emperor on the Blissey, but doesn't do very much. Charizard goes for the Dragon Rage again and brings my Typhlosion down to 59 health. Blissey goes for the Ice Beam again and knocks out the Swampert. Tell me if I'm going a little bit too fast. I'm just trying to keep up with this. The Blastoise comes out next, supposedly to deal with my Typhlosion. Absol goes for the Sucker Punch on the Blastoise and brings it down to about half health. Typhlosion goes for the Focus Blast again, but I miss again. Blastoise goes for the Hydro Pump, hits and knocks out the Typhlosion, I believe. Yes, indeed. Blaziken goes for a Slash and knocks my Blissey down to about half HP. Charizard goes for Dragon Rage again on the Absol and brings it down to 68. Blissey goes for a Substitute and goes down to 79 health with a Substitute in. Medicham comes out and is getting ready to take on the 3 Pokemon. Absol goes for a Sucker Punch on the Blastoise and I believe knocks it out. Medicham goes for the Zen Headbutt on the Blaziken and I believe knocks it out. Charizard goes for the Dragon Rage and knocks my Medicham down to 89 health. Blissey goes for the Soft Boil to try and regain its HP again. Oh, I need something to suck on. My throat is getting sore from this. Maybe I need to have water with me. Anyway, Sceptile comes out and I believe Venusaur comes back out as well. Sceptile goes for the Mega Evolution, becoming a Grass and Dragon type with the Lightning Rod ability. Pretty cool Mega. During this playthrough of the game, I chose Sceptile just so that my brothers and I could have all 3 of the Hoenn starters. I'll go with Sucker Punch on the Charizard and the Charizard faints. Sceptile uses Dual Chop on the Absol and I believe knocks it out. Yes. So Absol, you did good, buddy. It hits 2 times, and of course Absol faints. Medicham goes for the Zen Headbutt on the Venusaur, and I believe knocks it out as well. Yes, it does. Oh, I just realized. I think the player chose these Pokemon to trick me on which one is going to Mega Evolve. None of the other star Pokemon can Mega Evolve. But I go for the Ice Beam on the Sceptile, and that almost knocks it out. It's so very close. But it does get the freeze on the Sceptile. Flagon comes back out to try and finish it off. Sceptile is frozen and cannot thaw, so the Flagon is going to go for the Outrage, and that is going to be GG. So, of course, good game, very creative team. Does need some improvements with some better moves. But Jetfire Cup, if you're watching this, once again, it was quite a pleasure battling you, buddy. And finally, we have a battle against Maeve. I think for these battles, I might not be doing double JPL anymore. So I'm going to be using the teams I would use if I were to face the other battlers in the tournament. So Maeve, you and me. And of course, only has 2 legendary Pokemon, but it still has some legendaries. Seriously, what's up with the legendaries? You don't need them to be good. I mean, look at me. I've only lost 1 of my battles so far. But of course I go for the Flygon Zebstrika and Blissey this time, switching it up a little bit. Flygon goes for the U-turn on the Umbreon, brings it down to about half, and of course it's going to switch back out. Medicham is now going to go out, and the Zebstrika is going for the Volt Switch on the Talonflame. Does just over half damage, so pretty good amount. The Absol comes out now. Sorry, my throat is not cooperating right now. And Talonflame goes for the Flame Charge on what was the Zebstrika, but is now Absol. Zekrom goes for the Fusion Bolt and is going to attack the Blissey, I believe, if I remember. Yes. Goes for it on the Blissey, does almost half HP, but the red card is going to activate and switch Zekrom out. Latias comes in, so Legendary for a Legendary, and Umbreon is going to go for the Toxic on the Medicham. Blissey goes for a Substitute, and that will, does it round out this turn? I don't remember. No, it doesn't, because Latias hasn't gone yet. Well, whatever. Absol is going to now Mega Evolve, and I'm getting tired. My awesome says I'm getting really tired, but Absol goes for the Sucker Punch on the Talonflame, and I believe it knocks it out. Medicham goes for the Drain Punch on the Umbreon, and I believe that knocks it out as well, so lots of KOs in this battle right now. Umbreon is of course going to faint, and now the Latias is going for the Drake Impulse. I believe it goes for on the Absol. It could be wrong. No, it is the Absol, and almost knocks it out. Blissey is going to go for the Soft Boiled and regain all of that HP. Medicham is going to get hurt by poison, however. And of course Greninja is coming out, and so is the Zekrom, I believe. Sorry, no. Typhlosion. Right, yeah, we both have Typhlosions in this battle, so Absol goes for the Sucker Punch on the Latias, I believe knocks it out. Yes. Greninja goes for the Water Pulse, and of course it transforms into the Water type due to Protean. It goes for it on the Blissey, and I don't remember it being able to hit all the way over there, but okay, that's just me. I go for the Drain Punch on the Greninja and regain my health, and Typhlosion is going to go for the Eruption, which is going to do a lot of damage and knock out the Absol. And almost knock out the Medicham, but of course it is an unnecessary crit on the Absol, and Blissey goes for the Ice Beam on the Typhlosion. Ice Beam is of course the only attacking move that I have. And the Poison is almost going to knock out the Medicham, but Flygon is coming back out. So, however, so is the Zekrom. So now I believe it is like 4-3 in terms of Pokemon, but I could be wrong. I go for the Earthquake because, of course, Medicham is going to go down, but I'm going to try and take down the other 3 Pokemon. I knock out two of them, however, but I'm also fade the Substitute and faint Medicham. Now, give my throat a break. He is going to go for the Dragon Pulse, however, and I believe knock out the what's it called? Flygon, thank you! I go for the Ice Beam on the Zekrom and knock it down into red, so... And I do get the freeze on it as well. So, I get really lucky with the freezes. Lots of hacks in these battles. And of course, Typhlosion is also going to come in. I believe that is where the forfeit actually happened. So, good game to Myth, good game to all of the opponents. And of course, I believe sometime soon I'll have another batch of Battle Spot free battles to share with you guys. So, if you want to see live ones, please let me know down in the comments below. Share your thoughts on the question of the day down in the comments below, as well as whatever is on your mind. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed and want to see more, and share with your friends if you think they'll enjoy it, which they probably will. And this is SusuaPJ signing off. See you, my awesome sis.